what I'm at. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. This one will be a lot shorter than yesterday. This is an animated Marvel movie from Lionsgate. That's why it's not on Disney Plus. Of the Ultimate Avengers, the movie from 2006, I believe. Yeah, this is only 71 minutes long, so let's get the party started. This should be a nice breeze. Eat an apple. There's the Marvel logo. And no, this is not for kids. It's PG-13. I'll do the other ones in the spring. The North Atlantic 1945. I'm going to put, I have a Doctor Strange movie, Invincible Iron Man, the next Avengers. Yeah, hold on. Voice acting is mostly solid. There's one voice I just don't care for, but you'll find out who it is. There's Captain America. So this is a flashback. Violence in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Good. We don't have to wait an hour for the action sequences. Just like the Avengers movie from 2012, which is still one of my favorite films. And Bucky. There he is. Oh, yeah, Cap. Ant-Man is in this movie. He's just called Giant Man. See, he's right. He's right here. Look. See? Right there. It's not Scott Lang, though. It's I think Hank Pym's version of Ant-Man. Is it? That's Red Skull. Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. These are aliens, actually. They're not. It's not Red Skull. Hey, little Sims, you just made it. Mm-hmm. Bombs away. Gail, I thought her name. I thought her name was Peggy. Is it better than MCU Avenger? Of course not, Little Sims. What do you think? It's short. This doesn't have the same stellar cast that movie did. That movie's stellar cast was perfection. You couldn't have done it better, in my opinion. The first six people. This is decent, but it's not as good. Not just because it's animated, because it's fixed voice director Jamie Simone. Because it's good to have this because this is not on Disney Plus, so you can't stream it there. You have to get the physical copy. Stanley, rest in peace, sir. I had to do this one because I haven't done any of the animated Avengers movies. I've done some of the animated DC movies, but not the animated Marvel ones. There's a couple. This says two directors. Love this film growing up, and I enjoyed the sequel too. Yeah, I'm doing the sequel tomorrow, Ultimate Adventures 2. That one has Black Panther, so I can end, you know. Yep, there's Black Nick Fury, which because that one has Black Panther. I'm gonna end Black History Month with a Black Panther appearance. Excuse me. No, they didn't make an Ultimate Avengers 3. Once the MCU got started, they scrapped all animated Marvel movies unless Disney made it. Hmm. The score is pretty good too. That's why this is not on Disney Plus because they don't own Lionsgate. That's a different company. It's like when they made Blade and it was New Line Cinema, not uh, Sony or Fox at the time. I'm just getting some crust out of my eye. Ugh. That's Betty Ross. There he is, Cap. There's a little bit of CG in it for the some of the vehicles, but it's mostly hand drawn animation. There's a shield symbol. The Chucky TV series, not yet. Yeah, he hasn't slept. I know the reason. I know the feeling. Nolan North does one of the voices. Yeah, there's only one voice actor I think sucks here completely, and that's the voice of Black Widow. You'll find out why. Because you have Scarlett Johansson and then you have this, and you lose her from Black Widow, the Black Widow movie. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Hmm. Because I'm drawn to these characters, guys. That's why I enjoyed Ant-Man 3. How dare this guy on Double Toast to say, some white guy say, this is just an expensive episode of Rick and Morty. Yeah, kiss my ass. Not Corey and Martin. They're cool. That guy that was on the show yesterday, no, kiss my ass, okay? It's not a Rick and Morty. Just because it's the same writer doesn't mean it's a Rick and Morty. They weren't brutally murdering people. That's what Kang was there for. Kang, I thought, did fine. He's not a great villain yet because he just got started. We only saw him twice. By the time we got Thanos' real performance, it was in like the third Avengers movie. So give Kang a break. Jeesh, people are just so nasty now. What was your reaction when they revealed Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? Now that I've seen Quantumania, I'm ready for it. To hell with what people think that if they're like, oh, this is not going to live up to the first four movies. I'm like, it's not going to be the same because it's Phase 5, not Phase 1. I know what I'm getting into. As long as they don't destroy everything like DC did, where they kept making flop after flop after flop, even before the pandemic. I'm like, yeah, as long as they don't do that, I'm fine. As long as the hobo stays out of the MCU, I'll live. Her, Emily Blunt, and all these other bentos, because we don't need them. They make movies longer than they need to. Hell yeah, buddy. Cap is like, what year is it? Or what decade is it? When is Galactus going to show up? Probably Phase 6 or 7. It really should have been him instead of Kang, but hey, there's a lot of Marvel villains we haven't seen yet. This is mostly about Cap, this movie. This is mostly Cap's movie because Iron Man doesn't show up until later, so or Thor or the other characters. This is the same kind as wait. This is the same kind as the no. It's not the same movie. It's different. It's not the same movie. This one has Wasp in it. See, look, that she's right there, right there. Wasp didn't get into the Avengers until the fourth movie, so at the very end, it's not the same movie. Loki's not here. There's no Tesseract. There's no Maria Hill's not here. I don't think she's here either. So it is different. It's different enough because this came out first. Vibranium. This is basically the first Avengers movies is kind of an adaptation of the Ultimate Avengers, just with less characters, only six. Not this movie has more. This has two, three, four. This I don't think this has Hawkeye in it. Am I gonna review She-Hulk? I didn't finish it, so no. I'm reviewing The Last of Us in March when I'm done with it because I'm doing video game month. It could be a video game movie or a TV show, so I can do that. Mm-hmm. The Avengers movies world. What air on the channel? No, no. There's a lot of there's a lot of there's a lot of similarities between this and the 2012 movie, but it's not a remake. There's different things. Because Joss Whedon's script is completely different than this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Iron Man takes a long time to get into this movie. We're almost 20 minutes in, and he hasn't shown up yet. This month was just very stressful. Too much talking, way too long, no snow, and just a lot of distractions. Hopefully, March won't be that because in spring I have to do spring cleaning. How come they won't air? Because again, Marvel doesn't air their movies on the Disney Channel. They're not for kids. None of their movies are for kids. They're all PG-13, and they don't air PG-13 movies there anymore. Last time they did it was like one of the Pirates films, and that got a lot of flack because then they have to cut the movie, and I don't want to see the movie cut. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's about time. 20 minutes in. There he is. My favorite Avenger, still. Yeah, here she comes, but unfortunately, her voice is not for me. No, I'll take a Scarlett Johansson any day over this girl. People said that Henry Danger made references to Marvel. They always do. Why do you think that show got popular in the first place? Yeah, Olivia Diabo's voice is terrible, guys. As Black Widow, I'm sorry. I know she has an accent in the comics, but I was fine with Scarlett Johansson's performance. She spoke Russian in the Avengers. Diabo's a Binto playing. Yeah, She sounds like a cartoon character. Again, I know this is a cartoon, but still, what was the difference between this accent and the one that your loser does in Black Widow? There's no difference. They sound the same, like this. Like, yeah, that's a freaking stereotypical way of Russian talks. Thus, Tony was never into Black Widow. Mm-hmm. Bintos think that they could talk like that, and that's a Russian accent. No, that's a stereotype. Some Russians don't have accents. Look at Mila Kunis. She's from Ukraine and has no accent. I already did that, little Sim. Stop telling me about the ranking things. I don't rank things. Let me just say it, so you don't say this tomorrow, so you can read that. Hmm. Also, Jarvis is human in this version. In the movies, he's just a voice in Tony's body until Avengers: Age of Ultron, where he gets replaced by Friday. This is why Olivia doesn't show up until 20 minutes in because she's not a good Black Widow. Neither was Florence. So you get what you pay for. Sometimes Marvel knows how to cast women, and sometimes they don't. When they got Brie, they nailed it. When they got Iman, they nailed it. Even Scarlett Johansson and freaking Kobe Smulders. But then when they got people like Florence and Gemma Chan, they failed. Sorry, DC did not make that same mistake. Most of the women in their universe, they're hit and miss, but they're not as bad as some of the secondary Marvel female characters. They were terrible, like freaking Cersei and Gemma Chan's character in Captain Marvel and freaking Florence and Rachel Weisz. They're terrible. They're awful, awful. They ruined the movies for me, and I don't need that. Sometimes I just want to see someone do the actual accent that they have, not try to hide it. Hey, Captain Ultra, it's been a while. Your species live commentaries onwards. You let me back in your channel again. That was last year. Stop talking about the past, little Sims. I warned you. Pym Industries. There it is. Hank Pym. This is his Ant Man, not Scott Lang's. Shield sucks. There's the ants. Yeah, this is Hank Pym's version. There's Wasp. Ultimate Event 1 or 2 are awesome movies. Yeah, and they're different from the MCU. They're not a copy. She looks more like Psylocke than I prefer her yellow outfit from the MCU. Because here she looks like Cassie's version. There's the bosom shot. Yeah, I don't need pretentious people either. I prefer Miriam Diabo from that James Bond movie, The Living Daylights. I just prefer her. over Olivia. I'd never liked Olivia Diabo. Never. Not even in the 90s when I was a kid. This was 2 years before the MCU, based on Earth 1610 with the Earth 616 personality. Yeah, that's true. See, you know your stuff, Captain Ultra. Yep, giant man. Here he turns big. He doesn't shrink. Genital? It's general, not genital. See, she can't say words right. The worst actor in the freaking movie. In both movies. This and Ultimate Avengers 2. She can't say general. She has to say genital. What? You know? Binto should not do Russian accents. Period. Because they don't know how they sound like. They want to talk like this, like with cartoon characters. When David Harbour did his accent, he didn't care. He knew he was in a goofy movie. So he's like, I'm just going to, be over the top. And that's fine. He had personality. Florence looks like she's constipated, and Rachel Weisz is barely in the Black Widow movie. That's why I'll never do in the Black Widow movie as a commentator. How come you, again, Little Sims, you know why I was in a bad mood. You know why. That's why I deleted it. I'm not talking about that podcast. I'm never doing that again. She is Russian, but again, they cast a Binto to voice her, and it doesn't work. It sounds fake. No one had a problem with Scarlett Johansson not having an accent. They didn't have a problem with it. I saw people accept it in the first Avengers movie. It's fine. It's an adaptation. You're not going to do everything like the comics. Because there's Giant Man. Scott does turn giant, but he doesn't do that till the second movie and, of course, Civil War. I enjoy Black Widow when she's done right. And I think Scarlett Johansson's version is good. And the version in Avengers Assemble and in the comics, but, with Florence, she's going to be the worst. She's just boring. He sees himself on the TV. Yeah, there were no TVs in 1945, not till the 50s. Barnes. Yeah, Bucky. It's a good moment. Because Bucky didn't take the serum, to keep him young all those years. Instead of Peggy Carter, it's Gale. Yeah, because that's a different version of his love. She's a redhead here. In that version, in the MCU, we had freaking Agent Carter, and I was not a fan. Cap always has the most emotional story of all the Avengers when it comes to, people that he's around. Am I looking forward to John Wick 4? Yes, but I'm not seeing it in the theaters. Too long. It's going to be almost 3 hours. That's way too long. Shaquille Kowalski. Yeah. Definitely. We need another Captain America in 2024 because after the bullshit we went through with the pandemic, with all this un-American of hatred towards other people for no reason. Yeah, again, we need a Captain America. We didn't have that in Phase 4. That was the problem. There was no Captain America in Phase 4. And no, Falcon being in the costume at the end doesn't count. That's like one scene. A whole movie with Cap, that's what we need. We didn't need that US agent fake version, played by Kurt Russell's son Wyatt. It's a good actor, but man, he's not Captain America. We need a captain for the ship. That's what Phase 4 was missing, a captain. Because Captain Marvel was in a cameo in Shang-Chi, and that's it. There's Thor. Thor's awesome. I love his. I love Thor's. His powerful voice. Why does Thor look like He-Man in this movie? I don't know. Thor is the last person they introduce. Even in the Avengers movie, we don't. Thor is the last one that they show because in the first 30 minutes they show Tony, Cap, Black Widow, Bruce Banner, and Hawkeye, but they don't show him until he's last of the six, and he gets the coolest entrance when they capture Loki, and then he grabs Loki and he's like, "Get out of my way." I love Thor's authority. I just love that. See, he has an authoritative voice. Thor's just a badass. How dare Taika Waititi make him a joke in Love and Thunder? He's not a buffoon, guys. He's a freaking Norse god. He's supposed to be powerful. Not I'm gonna joke every 2 seconds. I'm like, and bless Chris Hemsworth. It's not his fault. It's what the Ultimate should have been. I know, and this is the movie that the Eternals should have been. Six characters. Well, six. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, or seven characters. Not 35. Eternals did too much. Did too many characters, not enough development, too freaking boring, way too long, and the things that they added that were unnecessary. A gay subplot and a sex scene that is not sexy. Yeah, you're not Watchmen. You can't try that. Hmm. I'll take this Hulk any day over the She-Hulk from freaking the Disney Plus because that was awful. She looked like Princess Fiona, bad CGI. The breaking the fourth wall jokes didn't work for me. And I'm like, Deadpool did it better in both of his films. Eternals was boring, Captain Ultra. I saw in the theater, I was dying inside. After the first 20 minutes, I'm like, it lost me. And by the 2 hour mark, I'm like, please, just freaking end already. That's the first MCU movie I couldn't wait for it to be over. All the others, as flawed as they were, gave me something. Shang-Chi, the No Way Home, the freaking, the last Doctor Strange movie, at least they were shorter than freaking Eternals. Eternals, I was just so bored. I like that they gave more personality to Hank Pym here. Even though I think Michael Douglas does a great job in those Ant Man movies, he's not even the Ant Man, and he's so good. Like, oh yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it has some. There's Iron Man. My favorite. Always will be my favorite. No Hawkeye here, but it's fine. When I was a kid, and I loved it. This movie still hold up. It does hold up. It's about 17 years old, and it's still the animation still looks good, and the voice acting is mostly solid, except for Olivia Diabo. She can't act. I still have it too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it because this is not on Disney Plus, people. If you're looking for this on Disney Plus, you're not gonna find it because Disney didn't own Marvel until 2010. So that's why they made Iron Man 2 into an Avengers commercial. The Shatari, yeah. The Shatari here, they look like aliens. They don't have those masks like they had in the Avengers movie. Nowadays, people just want to complain about everything. Why don't you watch a movie and shut up? That's a thing. Just a little suggestion. Enjoy your movie. Enjoy your show. Don't freaking nitpick it to death. It's like the pandemic made people nitpicky all the time. I'm doing this because I haven't done a superhero movie in a while. So I've mostly been doing just action movies, one-offs like knockoff, and yeah. hmm And also the Triple X. I did it yesterday. I had fun doing that. That was a lot of fun. I was calm, and it was no one was in the house, and I wasn't distracted. They're complaining about Quantum Mania because it's different. Different doesn't mean bad. Okay, it's something different. It's like Ragnarok was for Thor. They made it weirder, and they had other aliens, and they had, these massive worlds, that we went to that we didn't see in the first two films. That's cool. They didn't make it a cartoon. They didn't make it like screaming goats and a joke every 2 seconds. It wasn't that. When Kang is killing people, there's no jokes there. It's not. It has enough humor to not be overshadowed, to overshadow the plot. In my opinion, I just enjoyed it. See, I still have my cup. Look, I still have my cup. I'm not going to ever throw this away. This is an official Ant-Man Quantumania cup. I'm going to keep it. In 2 weeks, I'm seeing Shazam 2, and I don't want to hear the complaints. The first one was better. It was funnier. It was more meta. It was more this. I'm not expecting the world out of these movies anymore, guys. I just want to be entertained. The only movie I need is The Flash. And you know why, guys. I've been waiting so long for it. That's why. Even before the pandemic. Because I've been waiting for a Flash movie for decades. This afternoon, good, see it. Go in with an open mind. Don't care about what the critics think, because critics are wrong all the time. When they praise the hell out of these depressing ass dramas, and yet these action movies, they're like giving them the shaft for no reason. There's a shield. See, I told you Cap has the most interesting arc because Hulk is not in the film that much. It's mostly Bruce Banner. He doesn't turn into the Hulk until like halfway through the movie. So, yes, it was better than most of the Marvel movies last year. Because, like I said, I like the Multiverse of Madness, but there were characters that you didn't need there. Thor: Love and Thunder was a cartoon. I enjoy it, but mostly for Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth. And Wakanda Forever was too long, guys. You don't need to make a Marvel movie 2.5 hours of. That's what it was. Underwater language. I don't care about that. I told you, Marvel, I don't want to read subtitles. I have Japanese movies for that. I don't need to read your damn subtitles. There were no subtitles in Quantumania. I'm like, thank you. I don't want to read. I don't want to read. I don't mind reading where they're at. The location, A blurb, that's fine, or the end credits. That's not a problem. But I don't want to read subtitles because then I don't know when they're going to be speaking English and when they're going to be speaking Spanish, Creole, or whatever. I don't want to hear it. Okay, Echo. I'm like, no, I don't care. Got it? Don't care about Echo. Here we go. Hulk comes about 40 minutes into the movie. But unlike the 2003 movie, this is not a Hulk movie. It's an Avengers movie. Here we go. Yeah, here it comes. I'm glad Quantumania wasn't woke. It wasn't woke. There's nothing gay in it. There's no Black Lives Matter bullshit. There's no Kang doesn't even appear until the second half. They show a flashback with him and then show him. Well, I'm not gonna say too much. I end up reading subtitles in the theaters either. It's too lazy. Yeah. I'm too lazy to read. If I want to read, I'll read the comics or I'll read a graphic novel or a book. I don't want to read in the theater. That's why I haven't seen a Godzilla movie in the theater in Japanese since 2014. I don't like reading because then I have to read little subtitles right here in the bottom, like your chat, but it just comes out of nowhere and it takes me out of the movie. The Batman didn't have subtitles in it. It didn't. Black Adam did, but it wasn't that much. It wasn't every 2 seconds. With Black Panther Wakanda Forever, there's like so much to read. And I'm like, Shang-Chi had the same thing. Like some lady went into Shang-Chi. There's a shield. I love that shield, by the way. Someone went into Shang-Chi saying, wait a minute, did I go into the wrong movie? Why do I have to read subtitles? Oh, yeah, because they wanted to make an Asian movie. Yeah, now animes, I can watch some of them. They're short. Anime shows, like 20 minutes, I could read subtitles. But for 2 hours, no, I don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. It just takes me out of the movie or the show. I don't want to read the film. I want to see it, not read it. That's why I didn't see Parasite. Slumdog Millionaire is a mix of subtitles and English. But the thing is, even then, it's too long. The subtitles make the movies longer. Yep, there's Avengers Assemble, baby. The movie's already half done. That's good. Like Vixen. Yeah, I don't want to read subtitles. Even in an animated Marvel or DC movie, I don't want to read. That's what the comics are there for, the graphic novels. To read. Because you have nice pictures and you have illustrations and you have cool, dialogue. People don't know how to write dialogue anymore. They either have to curse excessively like The Last of Us, or they have to make references that don't fit the movie or show, or they just go on and on and on and on. I'm like, just get to it. You don't have to waste time with exposition in every movie. I recommend Hulk versus Thor. I saw that. I don't own it, though. I did see those. And Hulk versus Wolverine, yeah. Where Deadpool shows up. This is why they don't give Black Widow a lot of dialogue here. They know Olivia Diabo's accent is terrible, so they're like, yeah. They give most of the dialogue to the guy characters. That's a good decision. Wasp is cute here. I just prefer her look from the MCU because here she looks like with the short hair and that dark outfit. She looks like Psylocke from the X-Men, and I prefer Psylocke. Because Psylocke's outfit was sexy. It's one of the only things I liked about X-Men Apocalypse. Because in the comics, Psylocke is not a villain. She's an anti-hero, but not a villain. Wow, that nice delivery. Olivia Wilde would have done a better job. At least she doesn't have a stupid accent, a fake accent like that. Oh yeah, red, white, and blue, baby. People will say, "Hey, look, it's a kids movie." Not a kids movie. This is PG-13. Look, see, PG-13. That means your kids shouldn't be watching this unless they're with an adult. They have to know what they're getting into. There's a lot of violence in this, especially the sequel. Wasp was voiced by Gray. Yeah, I know whose voice it is. She's fine. She's a voice actress. Olivia is not. Diabo is not a voice actress. I can tell. These other guys are working their asses off. There's a difference between doing a voice and just talking. It's not the same thing. Voice acting is about finding that inner voice, not just using your normal voice and just amplifying it. No, you have to voice act. I do it all the time. Yep, Giant Man. And yes, I love seeing Scott do this in Quantumania. I'm not going to say when because I don't want to spoil the movie for those who haven't seen it yet. Hmm. Yep. It's not that violent, but the second one is because there's a death in it that I'm not going to say here until I see it again tomorrow. Bang, bang, bang. Amateurs killed. Wow, this accent is terrible, man. This is just as bad as Yelena's. I'm telling you, it's horrible. Like this voice acting from her is like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the amateurs. I'm like, oh god. Even when I first saw this in 2011, I'm like, this is not a good Black Widow voice. It just doesn't fit. She's not voice acting. She's sounding like like Natasha from freaking Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's not the same character. Just because they have the same first name. Tony, what happened? Please tell me no one kissed me. Yeah, she voices Zula in Avatar, and she was in countless Nickelodeon shows. Fairly Odd Parents, Tough Puppy, Danny Phantom. I know her voice, but she one of the voices of my child. Yeah, well, not much, but the grade. I didn't hear her voice as a kid. I heard her voice as an adult. So do I. I always go to the movie theaters alone because I don't want to hear my brother and I don't want to hear my dad either. They don't shut up. When I'm watching something, they're always singing or chanting or freaking doing yelling. I can't take it. I want to watch the movie, not be distracted by 14 things, you know? Sometimes I want to just watch something. Like right now, the chat at least is not loud because I don't put sound effects for it. But when I have a condition, I have to watch the movie, not watch the sky and the ceiling and everything. No, just yeah, Hulk doesn't show up until the third act of the movie here. His hand shaking. You are failing. People got to stop expecting every movie to be, life changing. Endgame was the last one that did that for me. The closest that we got to Endgame was No Way Home because it was an event. It wasn't just another Marvel movie. There was a lot of, stakes involved. Oh my god, her voice sucks. Thank God she doesn't do a lot of acting anymore. I'll take Olivia Wilde any day, or Olivia Munn, any other Olivia's, Thurlby, any one of it. Hulk is in Earth 1610. He works for the Maker. Hey, Electric Dino, you made this for the third act. Oh, there's Josh. Will never do an MCU movie. Wrong, Josh. She's connected to the Spider Woman movie. They want her to direct it. That counts. Even if it's not an MCU movie, it's still Marvel. Will never do an MCU because she's a feminist and hated. Hi, by the way. No, she's not hated. She was only hated because that movie last year sucked, and it's not her fault. It's her dumbass writer, Katie Silberman. You can't write. You don't know how to write strong male characters. You hate men. You killed them off in your freaking movie, and even in Booksmart, there's no male characters I remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember the men in the movie. She's a worse feminist than Olivia. I met Olivia. She's cool. She's cool. I'm a man, and she treated me like gold. She didn't say, "Oh, you're a man. Get away from me." She didn't say that. She likes men. Katie Silberman does not. It's her I can't stand. Because Hulk is like a Jekyll and Hyde thing, but here he just turns into the Hulk at the end, not all throughout the film. She's hated. I'm like, I don't know why. Just like with Brie, I don't get it. With the hobo, trust me, I get it. She eats worlds. Olivia did one bad film. Wow. Everybody's done it. She also did Year One. Did people forget that Olivia, before she directed, did some pretty terrible movies like Year One? Yeah, that wasn't good either. So she's beautiful in it, but the movie's horribly written. And that was Harold Ramis's last film he directed, and that sucks, man. I don't understand. I just don't get it. With her, I don't get it. She's a feminist, so what? Silberman is not a good writer. That's why every movie she touches turns to shit. I don't want Silberman writing an MCU movie because she's going to write, oh, Spider-Woman is almighty and she can't be touched. No. We already got Spider-Woman in Across the Spider-Verse, and she's not going to be a feminist. Isn't connected to the Spider-Verse. No, it's a separate thing like Morbius was. Spider-Woman is a standalone thing. Yeah, that's fine. Like Joker, the Batman, Brie and Jessica are feminists. Doesn't mean they're bad. No, it's just that people think that they hate men. A feminist is not a person that hates men. They just want to be equally treated. That's all. Some of them just take it too far. Like Silberman is an SJW, where everything is about the female and the men could suck it. I'm like, no, we're not going to suck it. You are going to suck it, Katie. I don't like her writing. I don't like it. Here we go. Let's get back to the movie now. Here comes the money shot. It's a part of the Sony Spider-Verse, but yeah, and that's been a disaster. Venom sucked. I didn't see Venom whatever be Carnage because I heard it sucked, and Morbius was horrendous. Morbius is the reason why I don't want to see Kraven the Hunter this year, because it's going to be the same thing. A bad accent, too goofy, an inconsistent character. He's a hunter. He's supposed to kill, not, I'm going to be your friend. No, Kraven the Hunter is not a good person. There's the Hulk, finally. See, that voice surprisingly fits that character face. Awesome. Hulk smash! I love that. That's great. In the cartoon, yeah. Fred Tascarori's voice is great. When are you going to do a live contest for No Way Home? I'm doing that in the spring because the winter was a freaking disaster. Wait, one at a time, guys. One at a time. I'm a feminist, even though I'm a guy. Madam Web, I don't know if it'll see it because of Dakota. The Hulk is actually my favorite character. Good. What's the point if there's Spider-Man again? Why are you making villain movies without a Spider-Man there? You need a Miles or Peter B. Parker or something. You need a hero to fight him. Not, oh, we're going to make this villain into an anti-hero. It doesn't work. Sony should stop making villain movies. What's next? You're going to do a freaking a Shocker movie or a Scorpion movie? I don't need it. I'd rather just see them in the MCU. Just saying, just a little thought, guys. Or in the Spider-Verse, because that's where they belong. They don't belong in their own universe where Joker only worked because it's not a Batman movie. It stood on its own 2 feet. It didn't have to reference other films. It did its own thing. And it respected the source material. Just a hint. It took the Killing Joke and whatchamacallit, it took that Killing Joke and story and made it better. And The Dark Knight Returns. There's some elements of that in the Joker movie as well. And I did it well because in the killing in Dark If you had Miles, Gwen, or Peter in the Sony films, it hated it worse. Why? Because they're gonna kick their ass. Venom can't work as a character as a hero. He's not a hero. Eddie Brock is no hero. Fred Tesco, he has the best Hulk voice. He is him, and then you have what's his face? What's his face? The voice of the Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, Italian dudes have a really good voice for the Hulk for some reason. You know, that really strong voice. You know, that's why Ruffalo does a good Bruce Banner because he's part Italian. He has that. He has that tragic look to him. You know, as Bruce Banner. That's what worked about it. And people complained he wasn't Bruce. I'm like, Edward Norton would have taken the movie for himself because you know what an ego he has. I can't deal with people with egos because then they don't shut up about how great they are. I don't have an ego. My ego went south for the winter. I do this for you guys because you're the ones that watch my content. Punch him, Hulk. Punch him. Hell yeah. I love that. No, because Miles doesn't belong there. He doesn't. Not yet. Until they can fix that and just fire the Sony people. They could work at MCU. People aren't too scared of them being together. Italians have fun voices, especially the girls. This film has a lot of action for an animated film. And while it's not the DC animated movies where they're, some of the best that have ever been made, some of them, this is still a good Marvel animated film. Watching Avengers Assemble and Earth's Mightiest Heroes, yeah, they still work for me. I still love them because they got the characters right. And it was funny and it had a lot of personality. They don't have that now. Now everybody's so self-conscious and overly sensitive. Eddie is an anti-hero in the comics. Yeah, but he doesn't do anything heroic. Hey, John, what's up? How was your weekend? It could have been better. I really enjoyed Ultimate Avengers movies based on the Ultimate Comics. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's well done. Ultimate Spider-Man, your mileage may vary with Ultimate Spider-Man, but I would take that any day over the Amazing Spider-Man movies or what the hell Sony's doing now, turning villains into heroes. That's not how it works. It's not. It doesn't work that way, Sony. I don't care if you made money. Morbius was a massive bomb, and it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need a sequel. And Nick Fury's black here. I didn't like Eric Bana. No, he was boring. He's like, you're making me angry. He doesn't even emote. His face is just frozen the whole time because Ang Lee thought he was making an art film with a superhero in it. It didn't work. It was boring and overlong and just melodramatic for no freaking reason. Marvel is supposed to be fun. This is fun and short, not 2.5 hours. I was so bored I had to see The Incredible Hulk 2008 to remind myself that, yes, a good Hulk movie does exist, no matter what the critics say, no matter what the box office says. It's fun. I was never bored. They're like, it lacks the charm of the MCU's Phase 1, like Iron Man and Thor and all that. But no, there's a scene that makes me laugh my ass off in The Incredible Hulk. Whenever he kicks Tim Roth's character into that tree, I'm in stitches. It's hilarious because you don't see it coming. He's like, "What can you do about it?" And he's like, "Blah," and then he flies. That's hilarious. That's great. I love it. And freaking Liv Tyler is always a win, guys. Have you seen that woman's face? Exactly, especially the final battle in Harlem. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Hulk smash. That's great. I love it. Great stuff, man. Did She-Hulk do that? Of course not. She's too busy doing stupid jokes. Thor gets kind of underused in this movie. That's one thing I'll say. But when he shows up, it's good. That's one thing, bad thing I could say about the film, besides Olivia Diablo's god awful accent. Spider-Man is definitely my favorite Spider-Man. There's a video game based on the comics. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He. It's not a she. There is a female Thor. Yeah, she is cooler in the comics because she's a character. She's not looking at the camera every 2 seconds. The twerking scene, I stopped after that MCU fan 2003. I was done. I'm like, this is not funny. Deadpool did not have to twerk to be funny in the Deadpool movies. Yeah, he didn't have to do stupid shit like that. Hell, if not Olivia, if Marina Baccarin had done that, it would have made sense. She was in a strip club in the first Deadpool movie. With She-Hulk, it's like, oh, she's with this Nicki Minaj knockoff, Cardi B knockoff, and shaking her ass. I'm like, that would be sexy if this wasn't Marvel. How dare you turn Tatiana Maslany into a joke? That's what they got well in the Avengers. That Hulk and Thor have a rivalry. Mjolnir here looks like an axe more than a hammer. The MCU doesn't need any more twerking. Don't do that in Secret Invasion. Don't do that in the Marvels. Don't do that in freaking in Guardians 3. I don't need it. It's not funny. It's not funny. Cap, you tell her, man. It's really good stuff, man. I recommend this in Ultimate Avengers 2. While 2 is not as good as this one, it's still everyone is so self-serious and self-conscious. Yeah, exactly. Grow a spine and go outside for once. I love being outside. Not when people are being loud, but when it's quiet outside and I'm outside, it's the best fresh air you'll ever get. Rena can't dance sexually in MCU. No, it's not forbidden, Josh. It's just it in an R-rated movie. That's where it belongs. It doesn't belong in a PG-13 movie. It's just or show on Disney Plus. No, kids are watching. They're not going to understand. Yeah, New York City, definitely. Good stuff, man. Because Shazam 2, I just want to see it. I want to laugh my ass off in the theater. If I do that, mission accomplished. Regardless of the villains, Josh. It's an old lady, a gorgeous Asian, and a girl I've never seen. So who knows what's going to happen? You don't know. Ziegler hasn't said a single line in the movie. She's just been in the background. With Supergirl, we got to hear Sasha's voice. My name is Kara. Again, see, they gave her a line. They didn't give Rachel Ziegler a line, so I don't know how her acting is going to be. I just hope to God that she's not subtitled because I don't need that. This isn't West Side Story. This is freaking the reboot of the universe. That's gonna the DC, just a DCU, not DCEU. There's no E extended where they've been flopping in every single step of the way since Justice League. Just saying, the Snyder Cut would have never been made if the movie didn't flop the first time. Man, that voice is great. Hulk is unstoppable. Even in R-rated, you can't have a girl dancing. You're wrong, Josh, because we saw that. We just saw that in whatchamacallit. It's not a good way for girls to be empowered. I'm like, do they always have to be empowered? There was nothing empowering about Don't Worry, Darling. Because Gwenpool, she doesn't need to twerk to be sexy. She could just bend over and be like, I look good. That's all you need to do. It's not going to break the world. Women can be sexy. You can't hide that from us, feminazis. You can't hide that. You can't hide that under freaking cloth. Okay, we got an hour and 5 minutes. Yeah, 6 minutes left. There's no post credit scene either, guys. It's animated, so damn, he's so strong. Up his ear. Hmm. That's like saying Karen can't wear a kilt. Yeah, she could because she's Scottish. If she wore a kilt and was, using bagpipes on that any Scottish holidays, I would just be smiling from ear to ear. Accept who you are. Don't try to let people tell you who to be. It's your choices that make you who you are, not your race, color, age, or sex. It's the choices you make. There's some blood here, yeah. Considering the fact that girls want to be empowered and loved, yes, everything needs to be empowering, not toxic empowerment. It should be, if it's trying to be sexy, sexy must be empowering. Karen Gillan is fine. Yeah, she is, and especially when she does something sexy that's not expected. I mean, in the bubble, that could have been sexy. That was R-rated, right? But the problem is that movie's not funny and it's too long. If it was 90 minutes, it would have been way better. If they had cut the hobo out and the stupid, they don't mention the pandemic, it could have worked. But people don't want to be reminded of this horrible era. No one wants to be remember the freaking coronavirus. Nobody wants to remember that, guys. We want to forget this even happened. I got it and I almost died. Thankfully, I didn't die, so I'm still here. There's Gail. It's a good scene. It's a good emotional scene. The bubble was R-rated, but they gave her sexy dresses and everything. Mhm. What's your opinion on Lean on Me? I haven't seen Lean on Me. Nice victory meal. See, these characters are more of a family than the Eternals. Oh yeah, to Captain America. Where's my water bottle? Where's my water bottle? Where is it? I haven't drank any water. I gotta drink some water. To Captain America. Hmm. For now. Hmm. It's pretty short, yeah. Ultimate Event is definitely a great adaptation. It is a great adaptation. It still holds up. The Avengers. Hell yeah. New Yorker's News. That was awesome. Yeah, Justin Gross as Captain America. You got Ray Delisle as Wasp. Janet Pym, not Hope. Michael Massey as Bruce Banner. And you got Mark Warden as Iron Man. I never heard of Mark Warden. Olivia, no. Fail. Epic fail. Okay, Nan McNamara as Betty Ross. I'm just seeing the open end credits. Nolan North as Giant Man. Yes, the voice of Deadpool in the video game. And Andre War as Nick Fury. And you have Dave Boat as Thor. And they have Fred Taschiori as Hulk. Yeah, who better to do the voice of the Hulk? And James K. Ward as Her Kleiser. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. D. Bradley Baker did additional voices. So that was the Ultimate Avengers Part 1, guys. Tomorrow I'll do Part 2. These are short, so they're easy to get through. And Karen can wear a kilt or a robe and make it quickly. And I agree with Captain Ultra. Embrace who you are. Don't hide from it. do that sometimes. Elizabeth Olsen breaks it. Yeah, and we could see her doing something sexy. I would definitely skip the story of Ultimatum. That was the worst comic I've read. Yeah, I never heard of it. So thanks for watching and take care. And I'll see you in the next one, guys, with Ultimate Avengers 2, which has Black Panther, which is going to end this month on a high note after all the BS I went through. But see you in the next one. Bye, guys.